뭐야 다 어떤 논지가네 감 감akashi teche ani techi disala soso mipatela ne winjunga minanda ani tembal mi mananda soso mipakara zuna mipatela ne ta soso gita loyetse jasha jatomba de tingol tene nipa chason tingol pune ni te ni tembele mashowa chegores.
Okay, so as usual, we'll start with short meditations. So for the meditations, so you can either use your own breathing as an object, or an image of a Buddha as a object. So whatever the object you use. So it's very important that you're trying to direct your mind, like if you can, like to the best of your ability to really get rid of all these such wandering thoughts, and so just trying to get if you can, it's like 100% focus on that objects. Because what is the meditation is all about is to just keep the mind on the objects, and not losing to anything else. So, as we engage in meditation, or as we commence the meditation practice, so we, as said before, so we direct our mind on the objects. So the object is, whatever object, whatever you. The chosen object, that is which you have chosen in your mind. And so in the scriptures, so it is said that the losing that object, or in another literally, it's like forgetting that object. So it means so you are possessing, you are having one of the fault of, or the obstacles of meditation practice, that is called as forgetting the instructions. That's the word that is used in the scripture for this type of default of meditation practice. So in order to keep the mind on the objects, so what tools that which we have to use is the our power of our memories, or the usually called as mindfulness, or the awareness, and then as well as we have to use our mental factor of so-called what we call as alertness, or mental introspections. So what these two mental factor will do in our meditation, what they do in meditation practice is trying to help us to retain not only retaining the object, but as well as at the same time, in order to ensure that we retain our object, so we need to continually, we call it introspection, using the introspection, which is like a watch person. So have to check, there's the present of this what we call the alertness, the mental introspection, which really guard, which really keep the eye on the on our mind, whether it's being abiding in the object or not. Okay, so just bearing this, just as a brief explanation of the meditation, the techniques, effectiveness of meditative practice. So let's now begin the meditations. So in the last week sessions, so we just a little bit touch on this topic called the rarity of the life of human life of leisure and endowments. So under these topics, so we find out, and also we need to contemplate the fact that how if we have acquired, if we have obtained this a human life which is qualified with this qualified with the there's a leisure, there's a 8 type of leisures, and then the 10 endowments, endowment, which is 10 endowments. So with these, then such kind of then such life is becomes a very is of great meaning, is of great value, and so we find out about this value and the meaning of such this life, precious life, as well as the rarity or difficult of finding the same again.
아니 드니 개 첨보시에 봤대 아니 다 드니 리테지 타서나 아니 첸디가 아니 다 잔던 예술라서 비샤와라 아니 야보시 제타와다 아니 야지 벤조라서 비근 코드 야보시 전에니 첸데라니 다 데워시 오지 좋다와다 아니 드니 체다니 개 첨보리세나 아니 대세가 말했어 개 첨보인 바데 드니 개 첨보리세가 말했어
So this is caution is the how we in what way we can measure or we can this life or recognize this human unique human life of leisure and endowment as something very of great meaning, of great value. So we have not, if we recognize the value or the meaning of this life, just in terms of the opportunity to accomplish all that we wish for in this life alone, such as what we're trying to accomplish is to trying to make be successful for ourselves but be able to give a loss to defeat all the enemies and such as the acquisitions of the wealth and so forth. So if we recognize the value, so only in terms of such the mundane, the goal, then we have not really truly recognized this true meaning of this precious human life.
제장아 아니 텔라 때네니 제르무체가 가르치면서나 다외 때는 이제 놀래 로스 디텐도 가르치면서나 다 가서 단 다와 제도 좋아ච්도 되되냐가 아니 가서 미글이 되대 아니 다 이지 노를 뭐 제레줄 라파레스 가르치는 이지 노를 뭐 제티가 센디가 제노로 셀라 소파 콜소와타나 중고요레스 이네요 가서 미글이 되대 델해줄 라파레스
So, relating to this, the true meaning of this the life of human life of leisure and endowments. So we find in this the texts of the great the Lama Tsongkhapas, called the concise meaning of the stages of the path. So where it says, Tsongkhapa says that this life of leisures is more like more precious than a wish-fulfilling Jew. So in this line, these quotations, so we find there's an example of these wish-fulfilling Jews. So which we all know it is of great value to have. If we have that, it has the mystic quality of really fulfilling a lot of our wishes. Then, but however, what in this quotation, this great master Lama Tsongkhapa says that in fact this life of the life of leisure of human life, human is even has a greater value and is more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel.
Wana ane tanjo choje sine ani tadi ta kechimbu tsudesa ta malir mochite ne kandeji ta tani je tawa je te karer sene ila tawa sere ne khomba se gores mo khomba je to travena ne khomba te se di gores tenza ani tso ma rene ma chi chi te na song desra.
So just to go a little bit of more detail into this topic of this the contemplation or thinking on this the life of the human life of leisures and endowments. So first, we need to find out this what is the leisures, which is leisure in terms of the 8 leisures and the endowments in terms of the 10 endowments. So altogether, this life of leisure, human life of leisure, unique life which is which is characterized by these 18 characteristics, 18 qualities like 8 leisure and 10 endowments. So first the term the leisure here, which give us a notion that if we have this life, we have a leisure. So of course that this implication here is not a leisure to waste or to pass our time. So rather if we have this kind of life, then we have a leisure, we have a freedom, we have an opportunity to accomplish this great meaning, great purpose of the life, and so therefore on the contrary, this term leisure has the implications or the notion of being freedom, being freedom or freedom from like all the unfavorable conditions, literally, like it's almost like obstructions. There's these 8 obstacles to or the 8 unfavorable factors. So being free from those 8 unfavorable obstacles or the unfavorable conditions. So then this provide this life with the leisure or the freedoms.
Penang nga zu lu nda wona jli pe shawa ina nga zo mi lig tente kawal she yor sena nga zo te kono ji jiwi ge yel she de yores kono ji sena ni ta gelong pamani ni genye pamani o te ji jiwi ge ni ye ji le ji de yores ni kombare chi she ba kombare de yores
no. So for examples, when we talking about this the life of leisures, so in terms of the place, place where we are born, where we have found this human life, then it is said here that the place becomes very suitable, very favorable if it is a place where there is a present of there are the assemblies of the fourfold like spiritual communities, so which the fourfold consists of the celibate, the monks and nuns, and the fully ordained like the monks and nuns, like the bhikshus and bhikshunis. So in this the place where it is said that where all these fourfold spiritual community or the spiritual like a sanghas, so when are a presence, then it makes it in terms of the place, then this makes this life like some gives more like a true meaning or gives a leisure.
Ni ya makaje ni dini kono jibi ga sajal shi na ya lemba da kupa sono to ya shita me dengeda ya ji umbu ma songa ji anju jati mo to wa to mi ga ni pomo ta ya tni ga ni shi ni tni yoris tni nga zo de yo mares denza ni 다 니도 되는데 왔어.
And then, of course, the being simply born in the right place, so of course is alone is not enough, and so therefore it is also it is also important that in order to make this life very suitable, a life which gives a great the opportunities, then we must be the life that we have found as a human life. So it must be free from any such like organs like the incomplete like mental faculties, like incomplete faculties or the organs, such as like if not being born like a mute or being very like a disabilities, and also so like for example, if born is a great disadvantage if you are born if you are blind or deaf, for examples. All these such a the incomplete like organs, and so therefore when we have to think in considering our own kind of life that we have found ourselves. So we can think about, we can understand, we have to recognize that how fortunate we are, even to in terms of all our such the sense faculties, all the faculties, we are how it is all perfect.
아니 sombatela nga zote 생하마다 아니 세시마예와 켄레 되고래 되나지거니 다 레가 겨울에 레가 야포시는 저우 야포지용하다 아니 레가 두저시는 저우 두저용 든디글레 내가 나셔지고 켄레 되고래서 아니 든디 켄주산라 소바우 켄레 되고래 대서 매바 든디 루타라 소비 아니 요마레스 든디가 아니 다지 마치 그 덴데 든디 네 콤바 선바도 덴데 고레스.
And then of course if we have if we hold a wrong view and a very wrong belief systems, such as that there is that there is no life after and life and before, and such as that there is no truth in the law of the cause and effect, or the law in Buddhist terms the law of karma, in that if we do the good actions, then it will yield a good result, and a bad action will result a bad result, the bad results. And if we don't believe, if we lack such faith in this, the law of karma, and also if we lack the faith in the what we call the three jewels or three objects of refuge. So having such a wrong view, wrong belief in oneself, that can be also an obstructions for one to engage in the right path. So therefore, again, you have to think about thinking on this, and if we do not hold any of this view, so that also shows that that we have this. It is a great. Shows that our life is very like favorable to us.
아니야, ngazo ni jite komde ni sonso njinro yore, soto ya cho ingo resro. Tni chodi tsala ni sonso chodi tsala ni sujin jumi ka do te yores. Sonso kwa de tela ni chobi rindela ni suje chin juwa me be chichin ni juwa me tni go 아니 용거리스 든지 가서래요 말에 네 수진 주의가 치 네알은 든지 그까지 좀 돼요래서
And then also, we also take into account of the time that we found this life in the world, in the universe, and so generally speaking, when we speaking of the world systems, universe systems, it is not a system which is like a permanent. Rather, it go through the time of coming into being, and then in the disintegrations, and then in this cycle, worldly universe cycle of this, coming into being and then getting disintegrated, and then not in the all cycle of the time that this universe, when universe come into being, that actually the Buddha appeared, or Buddha come to the world, and so therefore this is again we have to think that we found this life, taking this life in such in this universe, in this world, in such a time, rare time, that where the Buddha had appeared most.
아니 예수선도 하체림보 이절라니 시에요 말해서 맞아. 대원이다 예수 페나니 던로타울 시와이나나 니 렌시투미 페니 치드피그니 소마스티요 말해서 아니 다 냐와데 이탈라 소발라시선은 둥가 그로지티 지체잖아니 지체선아요 둥가티가 온기가니 제타요 말해서 아니 하체림볼 세사텔 시에서는 텔하이지레 되어서 니 가르세나타 생감이 레디가 니 지알라테네 텔하이텔 시에트니 시디잘 시에서 som바지다니 니 그로티 레디 주이테레니 니 시에서 som바나지다 시와레 되어서 니 지마도 아니 제스크스타티 라이티 데왈 이네 니 치마테네 로데 거레스 니 가서 드니라 시에요 말레스 제자니 다 마지글리테테 제도 덴댕이라고 시작하고요레스
and also also we are so fortunate that in that not only the Buddha come to this world, but also he taught the dharmas, or to turn the wheel of dharmas, and then there's also the fact that it is we should also recognize the fact that how that we are not we have not taken the rebirth into any of like a three bad rebirth, such as the rebirth as as an animals, and or as we call a hungry ghost or preta, and as a hell beings. So because in each cases of if we are taking such a life, the very unfortunate form of life, such as even as an animal, then because then there's a disadvantages in terms of their faculty being so like the mental faculty has been very it's been afflicted with the ignorance or the stupidities and the dumbness, and then of course if we are born as a hungry ghost and as an hell beings, then just that the excruciating sufferings and the pain that their lives been subject to. So it will, it's such that it won't give us any room for us to think of anything else, just to bearing because of those pain and sufferings. And then on top of that, then the leisure, a quality of leisure is that being, free from being, or not born as what we call as not born as a long-living, godly beings, long-living godly beings. So here we're talking about taking such a kind of life of this particular life of godly being is considered as a disadvantage in the sense, that although that kind of life, when we take that form, godly form of life, comes with just a great deal of a bliss and the pleasure that it is said, that it is described that the only moment that that this such kind of godly being will so like absorbed in the peace and the bliss in such a great length period of time, such a moment, almost like you really stuck there, like that, so absorbed, such that the only moment they remember, they have a thought, is when they first take rebirth. They have a thought that I was thought of, taking birth, and then at the end, when they are about to die, they realize that now their times is up, and other than that, the whole life is they get absorbed into this sensual, peace and the pleasure. So therefore, such mental absorption is considered as obstructions and is not a favorable conditions. So therefore, it is said that being free, not born as this such a long living godly being, so is the listed as one of these leisure.
아니 다티 제장다 네 다 just 다와지 조와치테레 다와지티 틴젠로사레 네 조와치테노레니 동볼레니 나테이나 론종가도 옌종가스는 제고레스로와 다 론종가테 상황데 가르스나 메임바 아니 다 위위시와선 다 치타세게 이들시와스 저는데도 아니 다 오모총시 레크수 마임바 아니 처음에라 수비게 레시니가 고조 마임바 아니 칠 대화예니 어떤이 그가래는데스 그래서 마임바체 여기시와 telata 치타세게 일시와체 아니 오모총시 레크수 마임바체 아니 렌타말로 바시레다 처음에 셔바 마임바체 아니 내알 대바시레다 진도할 대바서 칠 대바시 거로다 시 데네설 대바세 데네 지금도 So we now go a little bit into this the 10 endowments, which we can put into two groups. So first 5 groups, group of 5, as we call it, like a self endowments. That is something, the factors which you need to possess from your part, from your own side, and then there's other 5 are called as the other endowments, other, or the environmental, or the other the endowments. So to start with that first 5, the 5, so it's like the first one, you have to be born as a human beings, and then the second, then the born in a, just literally called as a born in a central place. So meaning born in a place
born in a place where there is a flourishing of dharma, and then there's the all the complete faculties. So that is that there's no the all the the organs are all sound, like you're not born as like, the mute or any like a retarded and so on, and then the not having committed what we call as the any of the five heinous crimes or the extremely negative karma or the negative actions, and then there's also one more which is called, and then having faith in dharma. So which here the referring to the faith in the Vinaya teaching, that is the ethical the teachings of the Buddha.
Tā tēnā rōngyō ngā tērē yōndu wā, tā yēngyō ngā tē kārī nā yēn lā tēne yōnggyō wā ngā tō tēngā rēs, kārī nā sūjēn jī tē tā shē tēngi kāl tē kē tē yō rēs rō wā, tī kī chī tēn bī kī tē chī tēn bā nī kī kā tē kē tē yō rēs, tī kī chī tēn tā tēn bā tē nē bī nē kā sā rē tē yō rēs, sō sō yī nā tī kī tā jēsn jū pā, chī tī kī jēsn jū pā tō, 다 계시 될 제선 주바이나 예 지도라 소피고 아니 롤 니에가 셰바 드니우 니 예데고 드니 다 예라 때네 니 지징아도 촌되고 그랬어.
And then the next five endowments are called as the other factors. So that is depending the factors which depending on the outer like outer factors of your life, such as the Buddha has come into the world and Buddha and have taught the deliver the discourse of dharmas, and then not only discourse but the sustenance of that dharma, so which we all this which we all have, we possess all this, and then not only dharma sustains or dharma exists, but there is also the followers of the dharmas, or in fact we are following that dharmas, and then the last factors is there is also the a support to the dharmas, such as people who the benefactors or the donors who make contribution to the flourishing of the dharma, and so on. Or there are others who teach dharmas out of their compassions towards us and towards others.
단도 구트와테레 단도 다와제든 조와제트 지테사레스 아니 단도 구트와테레 ngatsui 아니 조와 구조텔 조와제 상근되나 구조텔 아니 다와제트 상근되스 와 구조텔 다와제 상근되나 구조텔 조와제 조와제트 상근되스네 아니 바치 조와테스
so those of you who were in the last week teachings, so you can recall the homeworks. So the question was, Geshe-la asked the questions, or for you to have a thought on this, there are 8, when you're talking about the precious human rebirths. So it is a rebirth which possesses these 8 leisure and 10 endowments. So the question is whether this the 8 leisure, the relation between the 8 leisure and 10 endowments. So if someone has, you have to think on the one hand, if someone who possesses the 8 leisures, then he or she should also possess the 10 endowments, or not, or other way around. If someone possesses all the 10 endowments, then would also automatically possess the 8 leisures. So yeah, just to make sure, do you get the questions? Yeah. So you need to compare.
You do have the 8 freedoms, but if you have the 8 freedoms, you don't necessarily have the 10.
That's the question.
That's the answer.
Yeah. So sorry, what's
The 8
that?
endowments
Yeah.
are part of the first 4.
Yeah. Have.
Sorry, the 8 freedoms are part of the
Yeah.
first 4
Yeah.
of the 10 endowments.
Yeah.
But the 8 leisures do not contain all the endowments.
Okay. Yeah. 那么的就唱的呢，给唱有啥的是？给唱的就唱下边面都是的了。
他看得技巧，他技巧。
那。
他也唱的，这马唱的效果。
Okay. So you were saying that if someone who if you possess the 8, it's not necessary, right?
You have the 8 leisures.
Yeah.
That means that you have the first 4 of the 10.
So okay.
But you don't have all the rest necessarily.
Okay. So can you point out, someone who possesses 8, but you can say he possesses 8, but don't possess the 10, because out of the 10, this person possess all the 8 leisures, but but don't possess all the 10. Whether you're saying all of the 10 or some of the 10.
Some of the 10.
Like can you think of example? Yeah.
Well, if you're born as a human, you're therefore not
3.
in the hell realms or as a creature or as an animal.
Yeah, I want to hear what is not possessed. Yeah.
If all your organs are intact, that's also one of the leisures, and that's one of the endowments.
Yeah.
You've got,
So you got the 8. So what is missing of the 10?
Oh, what's missing?
Yeah, that's because your question is that, or you were saying, you were answering that if someone who possesses the 8.
And also, one of the 8 leisures is being free of having committed the 5 heinous crimes of killing, stealing blood.
But 사명 아세요? 뒤치 초고 유래서 다 계산 된저 대화 계산.
다 드니 간대죠.
라.
니 간대시야.
예.
섬에 생애나 몸보 열어봐.
라.
섬에 생애나 몸보 열어봐. 드니 간대시야.
사명 갈선.
섬에라 몸보 열어봐.
Yeah. So you got to be more specific, okay? Because if you say if someone possesses, you go to specific with the example. Okay, person A has qualified with the 8 leisures. Okay, but is not qualified with the 10 endowment, because if you are saying that he has committed the 8, any 5 that heinous crimes. So you got to be specific what sort of crime he can. What anything yet? Yeah. Yeah.
Killing an aha.
Yeah.
Spilling the blood of Buddha, or creating division or schism.
Yeah. So he can do all that. You were saying he could have the qualified with 8 leisure, but he can commit all those 5.
You can't
5.
commit those.
Huh?
One of the 8 leisures
Yeah.
is that you are free from having committed those 5 heinous crimes.
Yeah, that's right.
One of the 10 endowments is that you
Yeah.
haven't committed those 5.
No, just going back to the original question. Okay, so you gave a reply. So you want to? Can you repeat the reply?
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have the 8 leisures,
Yeah.
if you have the 8 leisures,
Yeah.
you don't want me to say what they are.
Yeah. You don't necessarily have 10 endowments.
If you have the 8 leisures, you have a certain number of the 10 endowments.
But not all 10.
But not all of them.
So this is the question.
And they
Okay.
seem to be from.
For example, so you were saying that someone who possess all the 8 leisure, but out of the 10, then they might miss which one?
5.
Like which? Huh?
Well, being human, being born human,
Yeah, that's possessing, right?
this is the endowment.
네, 다 간소 디지단 디 간소 지 무슨 무슨 해줘라. 디 간소 다다 렌 다다 개금인다. 저디요, 마.
So here's the leisures,
Yeah.
there's the endowments.
Yeah, I know.
Endowment being human,
예.
leisures,
Yeah.
not born in the hell realm,
다 마마 렌 도다. 예.
not born as demigod.
다나 된도 될라 근데 와키.
네.
ben pasepi kuzochi che
라.
pasepi kuzochi
라.
suzuzu pawase kuzochi che
네.
di kuzo tel che chang mari je chang res tela borata
다들란지 바로.
tela borata
Yeah.
kolar wala
네. So you can say, you could have a human being, okay, who in terms of the 8 leisure might possess all that, but he might have committed the act of killing his a parent, like I say, father. Okay?
But if that's so,
Can you-
he doesn't
it-
possess the
can-
other
can-
leisures.
Can we have such a persons?
teni kuzochi yewa che ro
Okay, yeah.
teni
Yeah.
kuzochi yewa che
Yeah.
ye za di kuzo tela ni che chang mari res
Yeah.
je chang chung res
So that's the answer that we want. So you can say, yes, here's a person, okay, who possess all the 8 leisure, but who do not possess the 10 endowment because he has committed the act of, killing his father.
But
Yeah.
isn't one of the 8 leisures having not been free of having committed the 5 heinous crimes? Isn't
Yeah.
that one of the leisures?
No, the Hamana. The maybe part of Shinal Road was 대화 계산하는 데 파트 주동.
네 다치 조선아 간에도 기상한테 때 간에들어
네. So you all agree, or anyone has anything to say, add to the Jules? Huh? Yeah.
다 tenu ye chugro wasro wa bizo pawase chil dewa yena yaro wa
네, 네.
다 su sidong tumo pawase ni yel chil dewa che chugro wasro wa
네, 네.
ani tini go 구조지 다 대예나 드니 구조 대니 다 저청거 요 말이 제 청거래서
네, 네.
그러
Yeah. Yeah, this, I agree with you that it is possible to have someone who has a life as a human being who possess all those 8 leisures, and even could have among the 10 endowments, you could also have all other endowments such as even faith in Dharma, but somehow he might committed this act of murdering his own father, right? So in that case, then he doesn't possess the 10 endowments.
He doesn't also
He doesn't.
possess the 5
No, he possesses 8 leisure.
Isn't one of the 8 leisures being free of having committed the 5?
No. 8 leisure. 다음에 여기 뒤안데 대화기에 나올 지어라고 그러는데 이 삼액이 내서 되어 그 추대도.
대 말에
No, it's not in there.
So what are the 8?
배나 아주 로조제 녀석을 파파데
나래.
로다 텔 제와시
나.
제와시는 로순주가 내가슬 아니 다칠 대화에 eng했던 게 죽으러 왔어
레레레.
로
Yeah.
시켈링했던 게 죽으러 왔어 다행이야
Yeah. Or you can also think of as someone who, in the early stage of life, might have, committed such a crime, and then later on, person might have regretted and then really get into Dharma and really become a good practitioner. Right?
다 tani kuzo tiga some shezawa isa 아니 제치제도 성공 말했어
Yeah. So because that's the same persons, even later on having become a good practitioners, but because the past commitment of that the crime, so the person is not qualified with his 10 endowments.
So you
Yeah.
can't kind of you can't purify it. When you purify that
Yeah.
action through various practices, you don't really
Sure.
gain that endowment.
To make yourself qualify.
Yes.
다음에 나가서 달래 엄마 파마드는 세셔는 고마 디 타보시에요 로사마 네.
소매 싱에들 곧 소매랑데 맞듯이 제tel 더덕 말아왔어.
라라.
디바테 더덕 말아왔어.
다가요 말았습니다.
제tel 더예요 말아와.
나오나.
제tel 더 지요 말했어. 소매 싱인데 오늘 쓰시 말은 반소매 반야는 이게 지시고요.
Yeah, but such kind of crime cannot be completely purified, at least within this life, and that is why this crime is called as a heinous crime or extremely negative karma, and also literally we also use in Tibetan samme, which is like a boundless life, which means without any bound, without any break. When after a person passes away, then we'll go into the lower rebirth. Without in this current life. Yeah. The Jema Zamasoya your lesser.
Jema yorata.
Yeah, of course.
Leg more matano grota. La. Yikil munyawal chesona king has of land ton.
Yeah. I mean, in future, of course, the soon as that person, they experience the fruit of that karma, finish the experience the fruit, that means that karma is gone, purified. That's the one way. Yeah. No, that's the way, the term they use for those 5 crime, they call it boundless, like unbreakable, that you go straight, directly into lower rebirth. That's the kind of implications. Okay.
That the Shiramoy Lucena did the pate ni that Karsikrango. Sendel toy, Totayomaris, Yawan Shishi or Esra, that Techebiltana, yeah, this toy and your Esra.
Also, okay, in Buddhist, so there are so many different school of tenets. So here we're talking about the school, lower school of tenets. So where, like such as there's one school called like the Vaibhashikas. So which says that such crime cannot be purified in this current life where the person had committed that crime. However, according to the higher school of tenets, then they maintain that it is possible to purify it even in the same life that person have committed the act.
당아주 단 소매 맹에서 로와 아니 제도 대소나 아니 제도 대고 그러면서 소매 쉐바는 맞지 왔지.
Okay, so the Jules just pointed out this someone who has committed crimes, extremely negative karmas, and so still can possess the 8 leisure and then but cannot possess doesn't possess the 10 endowments. So what about all the others who have never committed? All the others who possess the 8 leisures, okay, but have never committed any of these 5 crimes. So do you think they should all have 10 endowments?
Someone else can take that one.
Yeah.
For the benefit of everyone, could you just do the 8 quickly because it was a long way getting around it. I think Jules was also asking 3 times. Could you just
do the 8? 대화계디 장가지도 어디 나는 상막이 달 가서 오만 로도스네 스미야마로 뭐야 알레 장가대리 얘기인데 미대 망해게들 망고여스 디안갈라 로시스라스 그래서
다 동가댕에 단달라 차이마티 디세다 데 다테레 제테 가르스나 니 단콘 다치스 다치다세 예드시와스로 델레귤로 수파마이반 내가 또 그바는 뭐 맞어 많이 봐. 아니 생각하시도 렌젤 수바 매완서 봐 많이 봐. 로타제도 많이 봐. 생각하시도 렌젤 수바 매와제 많이 봐. 아니 다 수제 조함에 비거니 다 수제도 tre봐서 수제지가 해봐도 tre봐라. 까매 봐도 아니 많이 봐. 아니 그들이 이제 아니 예소서도 같이 좀 보시네. 지금 대제들에서 mitala jon digro.
Right. So the 8 layers, so like you can say like not born in the each of the 3 lower rebirth, right? Like animals, hungry ghosts, hell beings. So you got 3. That's easy one, and then not born as a long living godly beings. So that become 4th, and then not holding a wrong view, and the and born in a time when Buddha taught. Buddha appeared and taught the Dharma. Okay, and then the not born in a like a place where there's no Dharma, no flourishing, or it's literally called place which is like a remote place, or more like a not necessarily barbaric. I don't like the term. Like a in-spiritual, non-spiritual. Can you say? Yeah. Non or in a spiritual place. How many we got? And then all the organs, incomplete, free from these faulty, faculties. So we got 8. Yeah. Okay, that's good.
So 당이 단대 치제 지원에 대금 내시에 되고 그래서와. 대소소 돈을 때거마도니 몸부시에 되나니 몸은요 그러서와.
네.
아니 제와 등인 도군 저런 소티 놀래대 때래서와. 만원인데 인지도를 제줘요 그래서. 안터서 돈을 때네. 수 셈발은 얘는 마도 로르 건 생에때 너소 요는 셈발 건에니 칠 되냐 시 따고 그래서.
네.
아또 아니 요는 대소 되나 다?
예.
녀도 그러다.
So, in fact, those who were at the last week teaching, so that was the homework. That is for you guys to remember this, name all those 8 leisure 10 endowments, and also not only that, it's you do that so that you can participate in this kind of debate, and also we can save a bit of time. And not only that, but even in terms for your meditation practice, the Lamrim meditation practice, is you have to remember those key things, and so if you don't remember, it's something that you have to go over this, repeatedly again and again, then until you will find, you will experience that how when you go over some things repeatedly, then it stays in your mind. It comes in your mind. Yeah. And I said that for the meditation practice, for the sake of meditation practice, we have to remember this. Otherwise, when you meditate, then there's really no subject to think about. But if you remember these things, then you can, like for example, when you contemplate on this precious human rebirth, and then you can close your eyes and you can go over this. And so this is what's the important to put a bit of effort in if you want to perceive the Lamrim meditation practice.
팀에서 당연히 다 지세 지원에서 남아도 시에 들어서 대오 제치제도 제라 소바시 자지 마시 시에 차비게 자이스.
네.
네 지제 맞들라이베.
네. Yeah. So, so those listing, yeah, I think it's already, this particular text is already available in English version there. So, if you don't remember, you can write on a, list in a small piece of paper and bring it with you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I could remember some of them, but
Yeah. You get, yeah.
So I'll check on the internet.
Yeah.
And then stuff like it's not the same. That's interesting.
야, 당가도 찌때 맞지 세계 있어라 노디네. 아니 찌티노래라 동봉가텔은 뭐임바. 아니 지타시게 예트 시와.
네.
옴볼라 중화. 아니 처음에 봐 마임바. 아니 칠대와 영이.
Right. So once again, the first 5 leisure the includes being born as a human being, being born in a central place, meaning place where there's a flourishing of Dharma, and then being having all your faculties, organs in sound or in intact, and then not having committed any of these five the heinous crimes, and then having faith in dharmas. This is the first five. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
아니 시망한테 가르치는 수진지 된 시험봐. 아니 수진지 될 시험에 띵우티 치 마땡했던 주제 있어. 아니 치템바. 아니 치템바 때 내대와. 로 아니 소소 따티 제슨 주파. 아니 티 제슨 주파 티 아니 다 무서 가오치네. 다 가르치는 짐베도 볼라서 바텔라 테제라서 볼 존이 예와.
No, sorry, that was the five. We're talking about the 10 endowments. So those 5 things that I've just mentioned. So the first of the 5 endowments, so-called 5 self endowments, and then the next 5 endowments called the 5 other endowments. Are like the born in a time when the Buddha appeared, and then also Buddha turning the wheel of dharmas, and then the existing of that, or the sustenance of that, the Buddha's dharmas, and also there are people who follows. There are the followers of the dharmas, and not only that, then there are the other who the benefactors of the dharma, or those who supports the flourishing, the sustaining and the flourishing of dharma by materialism, or by giving the teaching to others, and so on.
Tini tatangare sombachenaya ni jete densona tumbo jete densona hichmichi chil tewa ye gangi kuzo igru shagumdis.
Chil tewa gumdis.
Chil tewa sire gaya yamares ro. Chil tewa yenanda menanda chi lutu na so chi yomare seji. Ta yoro ta tiso chi yena yemena mero tel kawa matawa che. Chi yo mareo masawachi, te yes in Atewa, Tini Parot in Yoro. Tini it's a ni that Nigu Kuzote Jedu Denchugres.
So, Geshe-la said he would say that you could have some a persons who who's qualified with those 8 leisures, okay? However, who doesn't possess the 10 endowments, such as the endowment which says, have a faith in dharmas. So it is not necessary that that as part of possessing the 8 leisures, that person should not hold a wrong view. So you could have a person who do not have a wrong view, but at the same time doesn't have any faith. Faith in Dharma, faith in the Dharmas. So you could have that. So therefore, such persons then doesn't possess 10 endowments.
Still can't be called precious unified.
Sorry?
Still can't be called precious unified.
Yeah.
You just said that just 2 seconds.
But one of the 10 endowments was
Faith in Dharma, yeah. So that's what he's saying.
Someone
Someone who has 8 leisure, but maybe lacking the faith in Dharma. So therefore, doesn't possess the 10 endowments.
Chegno shidi sala chil tewa yengeji kugndi was. Roa. Jegno shidi sala ani luta mengeji.
Yeah.
Luta mengeji shunun digndo was. Rende do ne tachis sujela supala luta mengeji shunun digndo was. Didn't chewan was.
So the difference between one of the difference between the 8 leisure and 10 endowments. So is that in 10 endowments, so there is the category which says we should have someone who has a faith in Dharma, right? Faith in Dharma. That's one of the 10 endowments. And then one of the 8 leisures, where it says that a person should not hold any wrong view. So, those you don't two doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Not having wrong view and not having faith.
But surely you have to have faith to
Yeah.
have to hold the right views, because
Yeah, no. Yeah, okay. But the question is not having a wrong view.
Which is anti.
So you could say not having wrong view means you must have a right view. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
그래서 lok다면에야 소수 대바 지사지 곡사래서 지금 따와 양다죠와 따와 디 lok다 매번은 따와 양다로 대바 고 말해서 이 시기에서
그래서
다 lok다죠라게 개발해서 요 말을 지지 요 말라죠와 근데 매번이나야 지 대바 지사죠라 소속이 다 양다배 따와이나 가래이나 지라 대바지 고 말해서
그래 돼야 그래서 지켜 먹는 그래 돼요. 그래서 치매 세금만 와.
그래.
다콜 치근 가르쳐 그랬던 거지. 산제라 수바 소소 대화매를 마도 디베트 요 말에도 기시야 요 말에서네 지는 랑이 멍랑이 들이 열어다.
그래.
선발라 가서 들이 열어. 나 대화매세 해 봐.
You could have some person who kind of personally, who personally do not have any such belief systems, but yet they respect others. Yet they don't say, they don't judge, or they don't make a comment that these people who believe in certain faith, like for example, like the life before or after, or this Buddha and so on, they do not hold they don't necessarily have to hold that the fact that they don't have a faith doesn't mean that they hold the view that these things don't exist.
They don't hold the view that it does exist. They're just saying that's possible.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
예.
Yeah, the person that the Jigoro, Lokda Mewaina, and Teba Yogunge Mares. The Lokayan, no. Yeah.
이지메지 그래서는 매워 캔레게지며 매워 캔레게지며 키케말레나 매워 캔레게지며 주며 가르나라 다데 빼잖아 가디가디 트렌티임도 다데 그 말했었더라.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably not, maybe think about, but, Geshe-la say he thinks it's not necessary.
So again,
Not necessary to have a faith. If you don't hold any wrong view.
예.
Yeah.
드린다고 부고 로치 제워지에와이나
Yeah.
로치 제워이나 매와 캔랭 말았다. 예메 콜치 예어스니 다 가르쳐갔다. 킬콜 질루타 요 말았다.
Really.
타와 요
For example, if a child who do not have any such view that whether there is a God or not. So don't hold the view whether the God exists or non-exists, both. Yeah.
예. 키 매와 루타 캔 말레나 니 코 대화에 그 말았어.
Yeah. So at the same time, so the child doesn't have a wrong view, right? That doesn't mean that child have a right view or have a faith.
No.
This is one point that we
네.
say.
네.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah. Sorry, Sharon?
예.
Also, it's no point being born in a time where Buddha has existed and the teachings still exist.
Yeah.
If, for other examples, also, like, as Geshe-la was just saying then, if you just haven't heard of the Buddha, or you haven't heard of the Dhamma, but it exists, but you haven't heard of it for many different reasons. One is you could be born in a fundamental Christian
Yeah.
family, not be allowed to have other views, or you could be underneath the thumb of a repressive husband who doesn't let you participate in the Dharma, or you could, direct experience, or you could be on an island in the middle of the Hebrides or Africa or somewhere where there's no internet, there's no teachings, there's nothing, you know. If just because the Buddha teachings exist and faith is a possibility doesn't mean you're going to meet it together. So your life still isn't precious.
That could see.
Now,
the solution that I'm going to
Tena Zasuni Jewa Yana.
Dumba Mata course, so Gavalens do Gavadilla, Sangi Jun, Sanji Sung Jun, Tembane, to get some more Yova in a row. In a answer soon, Gava to the Gava Yina, and Yabado better Jovachu Sami Yava Yomares. This is
Today, Marwa.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Even not everyone in the
Pena
world.
Zasuni Jewa Ji Mumbai Bache,
Right.
Zasuni Wara, Ji Mumbai Bache, Ji Suzu Chicken Lam Lasegrot, and Mina, a Kiga Nichero Mando Chitini Suji Yomari, Yomaris in Lagmara.
Right.
Tani Kemalang in Yorota.
No.
Tatanona Yze, Tatanona Yijir song to Tate. Pena Zasuni Yavache,
Right.
and Chigatanumbe Chicken Lavache, Chicken Malavache. 다 켈 말레나요 눈베치 요 말이다 템바 요 말이다 템바 생기도 요 말이다 디셰스데 덴바 말이세 키 저것도 켈랭 말아
No.
라
Right.
다트린다 왜 주로
The charisma.
아
Charisma.
다테 맞아 다시
No, no, yes.
야야 다트리트린 이제 저러
Right. I think we'll leave it here. Yeah. We'll finish here. Yeah.
That it, I was going to have as one of the examples that if you were born in Tibet under the Chinese regime, for example, but then actually ask this of Yeshua, because even the Tibetans who were born underneath the Chinese regime, if they had the knowledge of the Buddha and the Dharma, like for example, my friends who've been in prison, for example, for 17 years or whatever, were still able to practice and do things. So that's not necessarily a hindrance, as long as they've heard of the Buddha Dharma and received, faith, right? So it doesn't matter how much the Chinese were oppressing them or jailing them or torturing them or whatever, as long as they kept the faith, that's still precious human birth.
그래서
뭐라 이제 교파들이 자미 독습당 정화나 야들의 지 니수 탑도 요르데 이나 고랑군에 소속이 대바 요하면 되어 있자 이 차견되게 상모 사용도 되셔야 되죠. Okay.
Sharon, you're saying you're talking about the persistence of faith transcending your social
Yeah.
I was asking you.
Yeah.
this